Hello, this is JEP Project.
Come here!
No! Hey guys, this is JEP. We are we're JEP, and currently we're here today with a good friend of ours named Shanara.
Hey, I'll snap for myself. How in the world did I even get here? Been here for 5 years now in LA. I'm gonna try to take you to my last thing that I think was my shakeup, my total devastation, was my divorce. I got divorced back in 2010. I met my now ex-husband back in 2004. Doing my thing on the scene in Chicago. He was a drummer, and he wasn't that attractive, but he was all in my face. He was very persistent. So I gave him my number and we started hanging out. And he's a church boy too. But I wasn't serious about him. And my sister insisted on inviting him over to the house. The family was there and we had dinner. My sister liked him automatically. My aunt liked him because he and I were very alike in a lot of ways in that we got these really big personalities. So people draw to us real quick. And I think that's what they got on the surface. I think the fact that my family liked them kind of gave me that nudge. He's a good guy. He in the church. This church boy and this church girl, we started kicking it and we started having sex out of marriage. We weren't thinking about no marriage. So we having fun. We having all the fun. So much so that Phil and I are late to church because we getting it before church. He's supposed to be playing drums. It's terrible. Do you understand the stinking smell we give as an offering to the Lord? I just want to let that sit. The filth that we bring before the Lord. But yeah, we doing that too. And God, as he always said, he plants people of influence in our lives. So I always had big sisters. One sister, Tahila could tell right off. She's like, you know what? You need to stop. But I was, whatever. Then I was taking voice lessons. And one time, Phil and I went to this really popular mall. We had an argument because I had started to talk about moving out here. And he couldn't believe that I would even consider moving out here and not stay back and be with him. We got out the car and we ended up parking right alongside my voice coach. She thought we were so cute, such a cute little couple. But when we got out she said, oh my goodness, Shanara. What's wrong with you two? She could tell right off. And he just blurted out. He's like, she talking about leaving me going to some LA. And you know what Miss Coleman looked at him and said, what you think she's supposed to be, giving up her little young years to be playing house with you? That's what she said. She didn't know nothing about anything, but she could tell that was wrong. So fast forward, my birthday, I popped up and get a ticket to Puerto Rico. Never been to Puerto Rico. And he got mad. He's like, you going to Puerto Rico without me? And I was like, I'm not your wife. And you not talking about marrying me. So I go to Puerto Rico. He comes to pick me up from the airport a week later. He got a bad attitude. We break up and we're able to keep away from each other literally for 2 months. So Thanksgiving go by, Christmas go by. And I'm like, whatever. The second week of January pop up. All I heard was, eh. Next, a few moments later, there's a rat-tat-tat at my door. Who is it? Phil, it's me, Shanara, baby. Please, 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 please open the door. What do you want? I just need to talk to you. I open the door. This man got flowers, balloons. He humble as humble can be. The man gets down and he gets back up. He said, I just want to come in. I was already cooking. The Bernie Mac show was on TV. I go to the bathroom, and now when I come from the bathroom, the man is on his knee with a ring. Shanara, will you marry me? I said, let me think about it. Yes, I did. I know that must have busted his ego wide open. I said, give me the Friday. That was like 3 days or something. Give me the Friday. I get on the horn with my best friend that's from here, my sister, and they all said, Shanara, are you kidding me? You told me your weight. Girl, you know you love him. Marry him, marry him, marry him, marry him, marry him. I marinated, but again, I feel like because everybody was doing this, push, 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 I said yes. February rolls around and they have this contest for Valentine's Day where if you win, you'll win an all expense paid wedding, honeymoon thing. And I tell Phil about it and we decide we're going to send in a video of us singing Alicia Keys. Everything means nothing if I don't have you. It got to them at the last minute. They got it. And by Wednesday, I got a call and he and I were finalists. We ended up competing on WGN News on February 14, 2006, and we won. We won an all-expense paid wedding, resort trip to Cabo. It was a big deal. By the time I got home, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My cousin, Muhammad, is blowing up my cell phone. Shanara, are you not listening to WGCI? I won the Pay Your Bills contest the same day as the wedding. It was on a roll. April Fool's Day 2006. Phil and I were wed in downtown Chicago in a Allegro Hotel. It was a beautiful affair. It was wonderful. We went to Cabo, laid out, just the airfare. It was the bomb. So everybody is saying, oh, it's the Lord, it's the Lord, it's the Lord. Without even going into the fact that I married a man child. This man was not ready to be a husband. In order to have our pastor marry us, you had to go through the marriage, the counseling thing or whatever. But if you go through the real thing, that thing is like at least 3 months. Well, they sped it up for us. We did like a couple of weeks and he was like, sure, we doing it. You don't rush stuff like that. By his birthday, July 19th, he was beating me. Listen, never had a perception or unction to feel anything throughout our dating, which was just a lot of sex and a lot of spending time together. He was doing the music thing and it was just a mess. Like when I think about it, it was a trap. Because again, when you out of the will of God, things that you could pick up in the spirit like that, I would have been able to see, even he's very charismatic, something off. The first thing was a smack. Then it was a punch in the door. Then it was throwing a remote at me. It was all of this. And I was embarrassed. I didn't want to tell nobody. I remember being so frightened. I ran to the bathroom, locked the door, and I had my cell phone with me. And I called my brother, my baby brother, who just don't give a care. And all I did was cry into the phone. And he was way across town. He sped there. By that time, Phil could tell that I had called, and he left. So we were away for a couple of days, but he came back. I never wanted to admit to my family, much less tell my church family, that this is what happened. Like, the moment we were married. By the time he does something else to me that was really big, now we're in counseling at least. He's like, I don't understand why I keep doing this. Shanara needs to know I love her. And I wanted to believe that. So fast forward about a year, that's the other thing. Unlike my mom, who I watched her be abused by her first husband, it wasn't a daily thing like it was with her. It was a few months go by, a shock. So about 2 years of that happens. And then we move into our house around April 1st, 2008. I felt it. I said, Phil is going to beat me tonight. I knew it. But he didn't put his hands on me that night. He wake up like nothing had happened. He hadn't threatened me the night before. And he asked me, was I going to church? I didn't feel like going to church in front, so I didn't go. He went, played drum, came back on home. By the time he came home, it was like 3-something afternoon, I felt I had my mind right. And I decided I was going to go to the evening service at 6 o'clock. Had my little maxi dress on, coming down the stairs, almost get to the door. And I said, oh, Phil, give me the check so I can deposit at the ATM on the way back from church. Put my hand on the door. It was like lightning. At that back then, I had locks. That man grabbed me by my locks. He literally pulled me down to the floor. That was the last time Phil put his hands on me. Like, I felt I was going to die. I felt like I was going to die. That man dragged me. I kid you not. And after dragging me, mind you, it's like, I feel like a spirit came on him. After that, he comes all the way down. It's like it hit him and then it left him. He sat right back on that couch. I go upstairs and then I'm like really trying, like, Lord, what do I do? I need to get out of this house. I clean up. I put the dress on. I come back down the stairs. He said, what? Hold on. Let me put my clothes on. I'm going with you. Like, he did all of that. I kid you not. And this man said, I'm going to go to church with you. The moment he got to the top of the stairs, I grabbed my car keys. I got out that house. I got in that car and I drove around the corner. I called the police. I will never get what I felt out of my head. So I'm going to just fast forward. I ended up getting a restraining order. We ended up being officially separated for 2 years. And then I came to the conclusion, and I think if my grandmother were alive, she would have told me to get out and get out now while I still didn't have children, because she had witnessed her own daughter go through hell and that thing. So that was my way out. And I finally decided to divorce him. I felt like my life was saved. I got confirmation that divorcing Phil was a good thing many times over after the divorce. Like, I'm pretty sure there are people who are abusers who stop. I don't know none, but that was not my story. I'm glad to be alive, because then I went through a season of a few years after the divorce, engaging in risky behaviors of all kinds that could have killed me. I finally set my tail down. It wasn't that I went to church, but I realized, I said, Lord, I have willingly done things that said, to hell with my life. I don't deserve to be living. I don't, but for some reason, I'm still here with a clean bill of health. I owe you my life. And I got serious. I had to come out of that. For me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't a song. It wasn't just a call. It was a day by day by day process. It was a lifestyle change.
I'm sure even after the divorce, there were things that still lingered with you or still got to you at some points from that divorce. What do you think helped you get through it? Like, what was it exactly that helped you get through it during that time? And let's say, for example, there's someone watching this right now or listening to this right now that is going through it or has gone through it, and they're probably still, for example, facing that every single day. What could you tell them that, helped you get through it?
Domestic violence is very real. If anybody knows the circle of the domestic violence, the different types, and also the cycle of it, etc. When it doesn't happen every day or very frequently, probably won't think that you're in it. What I'm so thankful for, if someone's listening, and if it's domestic violence that they were dealing with, I went through a counseling group for women in domestic violence, and it blew my mind. We always had a full house. It was once a week, and I went to this group for almost a year, like even after the divorce. And when I tell you, there were women in that group of every background, because I had only seen Black women going through this, that's a thing. So it almost has a place of normalcy. Everybody was in there. The very rich, the very poor, and the in between, all career walks or whatever. And the stories, because everything it was a safe space. So for me, that was definitely a part, being there, because while I was on a slow roll and dipping and seeing and stuff like that, there were women who had been in the exact same spot. So shout out to my DV group, man. Them women held me down. I really, really appreciated it, at least that part. Oh, and as a writer, that's another one of my saving graces. I've always journaled. I journal. That is and still is one of my best forms of therapy.
All right. Thank you so much, Shanara, for your time today.
You're welcome. The Lord bless it. Esther, nice to rock with you.
Sorry. I was just listening the whole time. I didn't really...
That's all right.
I'm going to have a hard time editing this one because I don't know because everything was so valuable. So anyways, thank you so much.
For sure.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. This was Shanara. Please go and follow her on her Instagram accounts. And that is all for today. All right. Thank you so much, Shanara.
Bye, y'all. See you Tuesday.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Esther.